Hi guys, this is Crystal and I am off to Shambhala here on YouTube. And today I'm going to be talking about my beautiful new bullet journal. Oh, and this is, did I mention this is Reseller Shop Talk number 15? Well, if I didn't, that's what this is. So, I have a couple things that I'm doing. I'm doing some stuff on my computer for planning and organizing and all that, but right now, I just want to talk about my actual physical bullet journal, is what it's typically known as in the planning community. It's going to be a little less journaling and a little more planning for me, but I kind of like, to have a little bit of those little extra journaling type touches included in there. It makes it a little more enjoyable. But before we talk about what I'm doing, what I'm going to be doing, what I've set up for myself for 2017, let's talk about what I was doing for 2016. And this is okay enough. I would have this on my desk at all times, pretty much. And then I would write appointments down or goals on just a basic calendar. And then I had little sticky notes all over my desk around my monitor, and then I would often use these spiral binders as brain dumps, but then I never really did anything with them, to tell you the truth. I mean, I might have had like one piece of paper, I'm like, okay, this is the plan, and I might have like referred back to it for like a week or whatever, but then I just sort of would let it go by the wayside. And for the most part, I know what needs to get done, and I do it. But I want to be a little more intentional, organized, and on top of things. And I'm hoping that this new system that I set up will help me achieve that. And help me have some real clarity about what I need to do to reach my big goal for the year, which is to double my income, basically. I mean, I do have other big goals, but we're talking business for the most part right now, so... And that actually is above everything else as far as I'm concerned. So anyway, so let's take a look at what I've come up with. Now, this is this is what I'm doing this week. And then I've made another one for next week already. And I will be reviewing that on Sunday night and getting it all set up for the following week. But I just kind of wanted to get a little ahead to see what other ways I could sort of make this thing work. But what this is this is almost an exact copy of what a gal named Leslie Davis does in her bullet journal. And she talks about this on her YouTube channel. So if you would like to see what she does, go to Leslie Davis on YouTube. And I'm sure she has I'll put a link down below for her bullet journal presentation. I think it might be pretty easy to find, though, if you're just hunting for it. So what she does is she has like a brain dump page in her journal. So I have that too. This is my brain dump page. And I do have brain dumps on sticky notes that are like on the computer, not like physical sticky notes, but there's like this sticky note app or whatever. And so what you do is you take anything that was on your brain dump section and you go, do I want to work on anything from a brain dump this week? So then you would put those in, then you would categorize them. So like for health, that's really going to be a lot of repeated stuff. So the health might not necessarily be, there's not going to be a lot of stuff from my brain dump there, but maybe there's a recipe I want to try or something. My business, there's always crazy brain dumps. For organizing and cleaning, that's brain dumps too. And interruptions are brain dumps, for sure. School, I don't really have a lot that I need to do. School's not starting until September, and I do have a few things to do, but this week I'm not working on it. I may even take this off and include that as an interrupter in the coming weeks. And that's the cool thing about doing bullet journals, is you just make up a new one of these, and then every week, and you can sort of alter it. Like, you know what, I don't need that there, you know, so you just stop using it. And then my thing is I want to avoid making it complicated. Like, see here, I was trying to get all cute and, like, put these dots in here, and it just made it look messy. But, yeah, so, okay, so once you've got your brain dumps, you've decided which brain dumps you're going to work on for the week, then every night, before you go to bed, or first thing in the morning, you go, well, which brain dumps do I want to work on for this day? So this one today I'm going to go work on Dad's taxes. And my brother Tim had asked me if I would go to the bank for him. So I wrote that down, but it didn't make it in the interruption list because he just asked me that. So I've added that to my list. And then this is an area of time that I've blocked out for working and listening today. And so that's my day today. And this would be where you would have it organized by, I knew there was something I was forgetting. This would be something that I would do in the morning. This is something that I do at midday. And this is something that I do in the evening. And then I've got these check boxes because these are things that I need to do every work day. Like, I don't need to add them to the list. Like, that's like a checkbox is high priority. And so every morning I'm doing 20-minute tidies. In fact, I already did that and I need to check it off. And so the 20-minute tidy is for the house up here, and then the one later in the day is at the end of my work day. And that'll be for my workspace. But I have actually changed this. So next week, so you can see how, like, if you set one up for 1 week and you start using it and you're like, oh, I want to tweak it a little bit next week. So then you go to your next blank page in your journal and you set this up, the same thing up over here. And it's kind of fun to do. I mean, it's a little time consuming, so if you can't stand doing this, you might be better off getting a template and making some copies of it and putting it in like a 3-ring binder or something. But, I mean, if you still like customizing. So this is what I'm going to do starting next week. I moved, there's like this margin area up here. Like before I just sort of had it like as a doodle section just because I do doodle. And so that was going to be my doodle dump area. But then I thought, you know, a lot of the people that do bullet journaling, like they'll have like a page just for gratitude. And there was some other people that brought up something about putting more joy in your planner or something. And I'm like, that's great. I love it because, you know what, it's so funny because for years, since like 2007, I have been signing off, instead of saying sincerely, Crystal, I say joy and gratitude. And then that's my sincerely. Like, I'm wishing people joy, and I'm grateful to have communicated with them. So anyways, so I decided that I'm going to just put those words up here because I think those are two very important things to experience daily. And whether I actually write down, like, this week, the most joyful thing was this, or I experienced joy when, or, like, oh, something that, I don't know if I'm actually going to log in anything up here or say what I'm grateful for, but I do have space for that, and then just having those up there helps. It's just a mental reminder. Not like I really need that much, but it can't hurt. And I might not do this after a while, so this is a good flex space. I might just leave it completely blank, and who knows what I'll use it for. It'll be like extra notes. Now, up here, let's see if you can see that. Oh, another thing that they do in bullet journals is they'll have like the one word for the year, or they'll start off their journal with some quote for that is going to be the theme of their year. And for me, it's being a slave to good habits, because I got to tell you, I have bad habits. And if you want to be a seriously successful entrepreneur, you got to get control of your bad habits, and you got to develop some really good habits. I mean, it's just, people talk about, yeah, you have to do this, that, and the other thing. Well, how do you do it? Well, if you've got a lot of really bad habits, that could really interfere. And if you don't have the right habits, there's habits you have to develop. And that's always been a problem for me. And instead of saying, I'm going to quit doing this, I'm going to say, I'm going to start doing this, rather than thinking about quitting something and thinking about what I'm going to do. And then the bad stuff will fall away and the good stuff will replace it. There's this whole other book. I don't know if it's that Babylon book. There's a bunch of books that are kind of like, it's either The Greatest Salesman or The Richest Man in Babylon, where one of the mantras that you should say to yourself is that you are a slave to good habits. So, I like that. I'll try to remember to put a link down below to what that book is. So anyway, so this hasn't changed a whole lot, except for, now I've got the margin up at the top with this stuff in it, and so I've still got these sections. I'm probably going to just take school out next time, and so I'll take my dumps that I want to get done during the week. I'll organize them, and then Sunday night I'll be like, which dumps do I want to do on Monday? So I'll pull down a couple dumps that I want to get done on Monday, and then I'll sort of figure out some sort of schedule. But in the morning, I have to do a 20-minute tidy. So these are sort of like habit trackers. That's another thing that a lot of bullet journalists do, is they create little habit trackers. I don't have time to make a whole separate, I'm just not going to make a whole separate sheet. But why not just sort of include them as these little checklists? And I don't want to overwhelm myself with a bunch of these checklists, but these are things that I absolutely need to do every day. Just have to. Because I am a slob. Let's just face it. Like, I'll go I need to just, every day, I need to spend 20 minutes doing something around the house. Like, with real intention and purpose, and you gotta just stay on top of that. Entropy takes over so fast in life. So this is like living space tidy, and then I've got another 20-minute tidy at the end of the day for my workspace. And I have to get 25 listings done every day, Monday through Friday. And I have to have a salad, and a big, huge Mac Daddy salad, and a big, huge plate of fruit every day. Not just like an apple, or not just like a side salad from Jack in the Box. No, we're talking big, huge Mac Daddy, raw vegan YouTuber example. Like, if you watch those raw vegans and what they eat, they'll be like, I eat like a whole entire watermelon. Or they'll have 3 crates of strawberries for lunch, like those big ones. I don't know how many strawberries they might eat in one sitting. Sometimes they'll do mono meals. They'll be like, yes, I'll just keep eating strawberries until I'm full. And they eat huge, copious amounts of it. And you have to fill yourself up and give yourself the calories. But all that fruit goodness, it makes you feel so good. It cleans you out. You feel so alive. I don't know if you've ever eaten like that, but it's just so reviving. And I tend to go through the day like, I don't have time to go in the kitchen, and I end up at Jack in the Box getting tacos, So I could go like a whole day without, I might eat like a banana. Or I might eat, I'm not doing it. Like, I know I need to do it, and I tell myself I need to do it. Just stop and eat like a big, huge thing of fruit and have a salad every day. I've told myself this. But this is going to be my year that I make sure that at least once a day, I have a big, huge raw salad and a big, huge plate of raw fruit. And yes, I'm going to try to stop eating having coffee with creamer, not eating, but because that is really degrading my health quickly. But I didn't start drinking coffee until, I don't know, 33, something like that, 34. And maybe some of it has to do with age and other factors, but my health really started to go down really fast afterwards. And of course, I'm always getting the creamers. So if you love black coffee, maybe black coffee is not so bad, but it's very acidic in the body and it saps your body regardless of whether you put sugar in it. Of course, the sugar makes it worse. And God knows what's in those horrible creamers. They taste so good, but they're so bad for you. And as I'm talking about this, I want to go get some. That's how I love my coffee with creamer. That's going to be a hard one to give up, but it is so health degrading. I have to, because I have some serious health issues. So anyway, this is how my system is going to work. And so yeah, once I get the dumps for the day, then I don't know if I mentioned this. This is for the morning. This is mid. This is evening. Then anything that's like an appointment will be in red. So that way I know like it's an appointment with somebody, like an appointment at a doctor, or maybe I'll be meeting a client or something. And then that way I know like which things I have flexibility on, and I don't have so much flexibility on actual appointments. But yeah, I'm really excited about this. I really think this is something that will work for me. I feel like this is my kind of thing. And then I still have brain dumps here. Did I mention this earlier? I can't even remember because this is my third take. I have a brain dump area on the computer, which I'm not showing. And then I have a brain dump here, and then there's extra notes, which is sort of like a brain dump. So these will be in here, and then if I happen to use up 2 pages of brain dumps before I start my next week, it doesn't matter because I just go to the next blank page, and then I start my new one of these. And so every week I have to fill this out. Or I have to create one of these by hand, and I can change it every week if I want to. Make it different. I mean, I could 100% change it, be like, this ain't working, I'm doing something else. And I could try other things. So you don't have to work. I like this because you don't really, it's organized, but it's free and flexible, and that is just so me. I need to be organized and free and flexible. I just love this whole bullet journaling. You got to check it out. I think a lot of entrepreneurs are like this. So, but maybe not. Maybe you are totally cool with those pre-filled out kind, and there's probably some good ones on there, and you can still sort of customize those too. And I do have 2 other things I'm doing in addition to this. It's not like this is 100% what I'm using to plan and sort of help me achieve my goals. This is not the only thing I'm using. I do have there's a Post-it note application that I use for a brain dump and other information, and then I do have an actual day timer, like, one that closes up, not a zipper one, but, like those zipper kind. With that one's more for like my finance management and project type management type things, and like an address book, and I keep like extra cards in there. But this is sort of like my daily sit on my desk. This is what I'm doing today, my planner. And I kind of like having the separate things. I think this is going to work good. So at the end of January, beginning of February, I will come back and make a report on how this is working and show you how I've tweaked things. And I am going to do another video showing you my Post-it note system. And I'll do like a follow-up on how that's going. And I will Did I really show you? I think I went through in my last video, my Filofax, it's not Filofax, what do you call it? Daytimer. My Daytimer book. And I talked about that. So, yeah, so goodbye calendar. Now, I do have a calendar like, the, you know, regular old calendar, you know, with the picture on the top. This one I ripped everything out already because, well, I just did. I don't have any pictures. I had pictures of Hawaii. No, this was from Costco, that stupid free one. Yeah, this is like the picture. Oh, well, you probably didn't see that. I never really looked at the pictures. I only had the calendar page open. But, no more of this. I've been using this for a long time because I didn't know what I wanted to do, really. But I have like an actual really nice calendar on my wall right now that I can just look at when I just need to know the date, or just gives me a visual representation of what's going on. But the one on the wall doesn't get written in. Now I am going to make like a month overview calendar actually in here, because I did notice, like, because you know what, you make an appointment. Let's say you make an appointment for 6 months from now or 3 months from now, like you do sometimes for certain things, like the dentist or the orthodontist, and you need to write that down. Well, I don't really have a system for that unless I write it on like an actual like full-on calendar like this. So I need to have something like that here. I'm going to create something like that. So next time I do, at the end of the month, I'll show you how this thing progresses. But go and look at Leslie Davis. I really like her scrapbook, or not scrapbooking, her bullet journal presentation. But there's so many of them, and there's some neat stuff. And you might be like, hey, that's exactly the kind of thing I need. And you'll be like, I never would have thought of it. Like, I never would have thought of organizing like this. I don't know if she came up with this or where she got it, but this is genius to me. Okay. Well, thanks so much for watching, and thanks so much for subscribing, and yeah, I really appreciate it. So I hope you found something helpful, and if you are doing a bullet journal yourself and you want to leave a link to your video down below, that you leave a link down below. I would love to watch it. I'd love to get to know you. So all right, have a great day. Bye.